Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. I am your host, Jerron Harrington, back to hit you with another video. And today we're going to be doing Chainsaw Man Episode 6 review, episode titled Kill Denji. As always, if you're new to the channel or if you're a regular and you like what we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcasting that's to come out now and in the future. First, I want to say thank you to everyone who has been supporting the channel. As I'm sure a few of you might have known, recently I did have some issues. There was a little bit of a natural weather situation that resulted in a lot of my equipment that I use for YouTube being destroyed, including my laptop as well as my phone. I'm currently using some temporary stuff to try to keep me afloat until I can get some replacements at the end of the week. But for now, this is just going to be the style and format, something simple. The video is not going to be more than 10-15 minutes long, just to try to keep the review simple, keep everything together. You know, we got to take a little bit of a step back, but eventually we're going to step forward and we're going to come back bigger than ever. But anyways, thank you all for your support. But anyway, let's get into today's review. So, episode 6, titled Kill Denji. Following episode 5, we see our lovable members of Special Division 4 as they are all trapped in a hotel 8th floor. Essentially, wherever they try to go on the 8th floor, they end up reappearing on the 8th floor. For example, if they try to go up the stairs, they end up coming up the stairs to the 8th floor. If they try to go down the stairs of the 8th floor, they end up coming down the stairs to the 8th floor. In the various rooms in the hotel, there is the window, but when the window opens, it opens to another room that is actually across the hall from the room that you enter. So essentially, no matter where you go, no matter what you're trying to do, you're just stuck on the 8th floor. And we see how everyone is taking inventory of the situation. Denji, he decides to take a nap. Power, she decides to scheme her lovable schemes. Aki, being the leader of the group, is trying to think things through with Himeno. Ari, well, he's trying to be professional, but he's really just shitting his pants. And Kobeni, my poor girl Kobeni. If you can, put F's in the chat for Kobeni. She needs a hug. Like, for real, I feel so bad for this girl. We learn about Kobeni's backstory and why she's a devil hunter, and it just sucks. Kobeni, if I had to describe her, she is the definition of, you're probably wondering how I found myself in this situation. And so basically the reason being why she is a devil hunter is because her parents made her get this job because her older brother, because they view him as having talent, are sending him to college, and since they need money to pay for it, they gave her two options: either become a devil hunter or become a sex worker. And I was just like, God. And you know, Kobeni, she wanted to go to college too, but she doesn't get that choice. And I mean, it'd be one thing if they said, we're not gonna pay for you, but it's like the fact that they're forcing her to work to support her older brother going to college. And then on top of that, the fact that like they only gave her two options of work, because I imagine that to send her brother to college, it cost a lot of money, and they're not trying to wait around on some fast food check. Although, from what you learn going on later on in the story, they just might have to. They basically said, you either get out there and kill some devils, or you get out there and shake some ass. And yeah, Kobeni is just, I feel so sorry for her because she just does not deserve this. She is just being put through the ringer, and this is just her first day, literally her first day, and this happens. Denji, he decides to take a nap through the whole situation, allow them to figure it out, and much to everyone's shock, Denji actually falls asleep. Now, they did come up with the idea that if they wait out long enough, they might get backup. However, Aki points out that where they're at in the hotel, all the clocks have stopped working at the same time. and time is not moving. So for all they know, they are trapped in a particular part in time and no one might be coming to find them. So essentially we see everyone deal with the situation in their own ways. Denji, he's sleeping. Power, she's scheming. Aki, he's doing patrols tirelessly. We learn more about Himeno's backstory, about how she and Aki met, how she basically became Aki's friend, and you might see there might be some more, you know. I don't know how people feel about the shipping, but when it comes to Himeno and Aki, I like them together. They're a good fit. And you see more of how Aki ended up becoming the way that he is. And I know a lot of people will be inclined to say that he's just emo, no personality, but he's actually pretty funny when he wants to be. I just think he's a more chill kind of person with an underlying seat of anger. But you also see the effects of being a devil hunter. You see how the job, it wears on you after a while, because you have Himeno, who has had 6 partners who have all died on her, and you know, she holds on to Aki because presumably he's lasted the longest, so she really values that, and she doesn't want him to die, doesn't want to lose him. So you see the dynamic between those two. Now later on we do end up finding out that the devil that Power killed, the small little head devil, ended up growing larger in size and started spreading all throughout the hotel. And essentially what we learned is that the devil wants a deal. Make a deal with the devil, if you will. He wants Denji. He wants Denji dead. He wants the chainsaw. And if he gets the chainsaw, he will spare everyone else. Now initially, the group doesn't want to trust him. However, Aki explains, along with Himeno, that when it comes to making a contract with the devil, or any devil specifically, when you make a contract, it's something that has big ramifications that has to be fulfilled on both ends, and the side that doesn't fulfill the deal will die. So you see how that pretty much works in that dynamic. So it's not a situation where if you form the contract with a particular devil, the devil's going to screw you. No, it has to fulfill whatever the contract is, or it will die. And because of that, everyone is basically chiming in on what to do with Denji. We learn more about Power's aspirations. Power, she wants to become the Prime Minister of Japan to cause humans more suffering. Now, I don't know about you, but between Power and between Chika Fujiwara from Kaguya-sama Love is War, if either one of them wanted to become Prime Minister of Japan and I had to make a vote, I am probably going to vote for Power, because as crazy as Power might be, I don't know, she just convinces me. It's like her plans are so pure and they are so purely dumb that I can't help but want to follow her just to see how her vision turns out. Because Chika Fujiwara, yeah, she is just conniving in every sense of the word, and you cannot trust a word she says. She lies as easily as she breathes. So yeah, Power for Prime Minister. Let's go. She has my vote all the way, and she wants a Nobel Prize. She even tells Denji she will do anything for that Nobel Prize if it means getting out of here. She tells Denji, and I quote, "Die for my Nobel." And you know, again, it's Power. If she wants you to die for the Nobel, you are dying for that Nobel Prize. Because Power, she has got dreams and she is going places. But yeah, Kobeni, she's had enough, and multiple times Himeno has to knock her out and subdue her, because this girl just keeps picking up a knife and trying to murk Denji. And again, I can't blame her. I understand why she's doing what she's doing. She is pressured. She is in a situation that is beyond her control. And if she can live just by killing off Denji, then I mean she's going to. And the one thing I do appreciate about the characters in this show is that they're all realistic in the most fundamental of ways. And what I mean by that is, it's not like how in shonen, where when you have a situation where everyone's back's against the wall, the cliche thing to do is to have the main hero give a speech about sticking together, about friendship and all this stuff, and you know, the power of friendship. Yeah, there is no power of friendship in Chainsaw Man. It's kill or be killed, and I don't feel like dying, so fuck you, and I'm just going to save myself. And everyone just has their own dreams. Now, that's a term that I just keep bringing back up every time we talk about this show, but I think if there was ever a show that is the embodiment of a dream, of dreams unfulfilled, of dreams you wish to fulfill, like the antithesis of a dream, it is Chainsaw Man, because you see all these characters, they talk about their dreams constantly, and it's for a reason. It's because what is a dream? You know, what is a goal? Kobeni, she's denied her dream of going to college because her parents don't see the point in her going, but it's something that she wants to do. She doesn't want the life she has now. She wants a different life, but you could say her dream has been denied. You have Himeno. Her dream pretty much is to have a partner that does not die on her. And Aki is probably the best thing she's had since she's lost her first 6, and she doesn't want to lose that. Aki's dream, he wants to kill the gun devil. He wants to get revenge by any means necessary, even if it means working with the likes of Denji and with Power, even though they pretty much make his life a living hell 24/7, and he thinks he could do without. He knows that in order to achieve his dream, he has to make sacrifices. And you could also say this episode is a story on sacrifice, because what are you willing to sacrifice? What should be sacrificed? What shouldn't be sacrificed? You know, at the end of the day, they're all devil hunters. They're all aspiring to the same goal for different reasons. But you see what everyone's willing and what they're not willing to give up. For example, with Aki, with the sword he carries on his back, we learn more about the sword. Apparently, whenever Aki uses this sword, it shortens his lifespan. So you see the dangers that come with using it, and we see why he hasn't used it up until now. In all likelihood, he's probably saving it. Well, I'm not going to spoil it, but you could assume he is saving it for the gun devil whenever they eventually meet or have a showdown. And Himeno knows this. She doesn't want him to shorten his life senselessly, so she does not allow him to use a sword. Now, eventually, we learn more about the devil that they're fighting against. Basically, this is the devil of eternity. Now, you could say it's the fear of eternity itself, like the fear of being caught in an endless loop of being stuck somewhere forever in like purgatory. But if I had to say, I would call this devil the devil of the back rooms, because if you are familiar with like what the back rooms are, basically it's this like place out of reality where it's just an endless maze that all looks and feels the same, and you're stuck in a world where time goes nowhere, and you're just, you know, trapped in like this internal loop. So you could say that this is the devil of the back rooms, to be more specific, because it's the fear of eternity, of being stuck in the same place forever and ever, which you could say is the ultimate fear of people who have dreams. Because nothing could be worse than wanting to achieve a goal, of wanting to achieve something, and you never get the chance to because you stay stuck in the same place forever and ever and ever. And I would say that that speaks to me personally, because again, if a lot of you guys, if you know about, you know, how my YouTube channel was run before I switched over to telling stories and doing stuff like this, I used to be a sports channel. I used to cover NFL, NBA, and professional wrestling, WWE, AEW, stuff like that. And I covered it for like 2 years, and my channel did not grow, did not change. I felt stuck, and I wanted to quit. But, you know, I made the change, started doing stories, and, you know, yada, you know the rest from here. So, you know, it really does speak on that level of wanting to not be stuck in a rut, not be stuck in the same place. Like, I think that sometimes the hardest thing a person could ever realize is years go by from when you started your path to pursue your dream, and you look and you realize you've gone nowhere. And honestly, when you think about something like that, that's probably one of the biggest fears anyone can have. The idea that all this time goes by, and for you, even though all this time passes, and you're putting in effort, you're putting in the work to fulfill your dreams, to fulfill your goals, you're still stuck in the same place. And that's just gotta be something that's truly horrifying. But anyway, the episode pretty much ends with the Eternity Devil pushing them to make the choice of either giving up Denji or everyone dying. And in the midst of everyone trying to fight to either save Denji or get him killed, Aki ends up getting hurt in the process. And we see how Denji and Power end up coming to his aid to help him out. And you see how Denji, even though he doesn't want to admit it, he is slowly starting to see them as like his family in a way. And he doesn't want anything bad to happen to them. So because of that, Power, she heals Aki's wound after he's stabbed by Kobeni when Kobeni was trying to kill Denji. So she's working on saving Aki. Aki doesn't want Denji to die because you can kind of see how he views Denji a lot like the brother that he lost. And Denji reciprocates that by basically giving himself over, but he's not going to give himself over without a fight. So he basically jumps into the Eternity Devil's mouth, revving up the engine, and we hear the transformation into Chainsaw Man. And Denji basically says, if it takes eternity, I'm just going to beat him until he quits. So we leave off on that cliffhanger as we go into episode 7, where Denji will go one-on-one with the Eternity Devil. But all in all, I think this was another solid episode, another good episode as always. Animation, voice acting, top tier, cannot say anything bad about it. And I will say, in terms of who will take Anime of the Year, even though it came in late, Chainsaw Man is making a strong argument. I would say if anyone has had a good first stretch of episodes in terms of the story quality, of the animation, of the pace, it's definitely Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man is definitely living up to the hype so far. We're already halfway through season 1, if you will. I believe the first season is supposed to have a total of 12 to 13 episodes. So we're already at episode 6, so we're at the halfway point of the year. And I can't wait to see how far they go as we continue on with the story. All in all, anime, it's doing good. Animation was good, voice acting was good, and I can't wait to see what else is to come. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. Stay tuned for next week as we will be doing the review for episode 7. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. Signing off, and I'll see you next time.